Got my Diet Coke, ready to talk. Mm. So, I keep looking at myself. This week, I'm going to tell a story that happened when I was very young involving a cake. But first, I will give the answer to last week's episode. My friends and I were spying on another friend. We were going through the trailer park, and this man had a gun in his hand. So if you guessed option number one, you were correct. That man had a gun. We were terrified. We were not used to that kind of thing. And we were like, uh oh, we gotta go. And we took that van and we got right out of there. Never been to a trailer park since. Just kidding, half my friends lived in one. JK, well, not really JK, but you know, whatever. Anyways, this week's episode is involving a cake. Now, my mother used to make cakes a lot when I was growing up. Her cakes are delicious, and everyone used to request cakes from her. All kinds of cakes, birthday cakes, uh, graduation cakes, wedding cakes, and also like dirty cakes. So, what I mean by dirty cakes are my mother used to make like the body of a woman naked, and then she also used to make a penis cake. Looking back, I think it's the same exact like mold, but I could be wrong because the woman had two circular boobs, and then she had like a narrow body, and then like kind of like a little like I don't know, V, I guess. And she would have two nipples, and then the body would come down, and there would be chocolate sprinkles for the pubic area, and a cherry right in the center. I knew then I didn't like cherries, honey. Just kidding. I actually love cherries, just not that kind of cherry, if you get what I'm saying. But, and the man would have the two circular balls, and it would come down and be the head of, the penis. And chocolate sprinkles and stuff. It was just very like, looking back, I'm like, oh, I think it was the same mold. But anyway, these cakes were very popular. She made them for a lot of people. Big surprise. But one morning, someone had ordered a woman body cake, and we were in a rush, and my mother had to stop at my grandmother's house before she delivered this cake. Now, it's like 7 a.m. in the morning, and she has to go to work, and I don't even remember why I was with her, or she was probably dropping me off at the babysitter's or something. I cannot remember. But we're in our van. I'm holding this boob cake on my lap. She says, Paul, I have to run into grandma's for 1 second. Hold this cake. Now, mind you, right after we go to my grandmother's, we are dropping off this cake. So, like, this is it. And there's only one cake. Nothing we can do if something happens to this cake. So she's like, do not do anything to this cake. Please. I will be right back. So she goes inside to my grandmother's house, and I'm sitting there with this cake, and it's on my lap, and I'm just staring at it and staring at it because, every time she made one of these cakes, it was very fascinating to me. I'm a young kid. I'm looking at these like body parts, and I'm looking at this like, you know, not in this situation, but in other situations, I'm looking at this huge dong, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm a young kid and I'm thinking, oh my God, like mine doesn't have hair. Like, is that normal? Like this one's like humongous. And then I would look at the woman one and be like, oh my God, is that? Like, ew, a cherry right there? Like, disgusting. So, anyway, when my mother went into my grandmother's house to talk or do whatever they had to do, what happened to the cake? Option number one, the window from the van was down, and a big gust of wind came through, and leaves from a tree came into the window and went all over the cake. Option number two, a bee flew into the window, landed on my shoulder. I got very nervous and I took the cake and threw it out the window. Or option number three, I was just nonstop staring at this cake. And in doing so, I got closer and closer and closer to it, and it slid off the board right onto the floor of the van. Those are the three options. Please comment below and let me know what you think happened, and I will return next week to give the answer to this week's story. Hope you're enjoying. Bye. Want more Paulie in the public? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.